Hi everyone, welcome to Practical Alchemy, and today I'm going to do a reading for the week um, by looking at the chart. This chart is for 30th of August, and um, it's a bit late because I was just this weekend was I wasn't feeling like recording, but so. We're just going to look at this week. And I also did a tarot reading for this video, and the recording of it was not very good, like the sound quality, because I was using my phone and it was picking up the vibrations of something else. So it ended up being really shit quality and I couldn't use it, but I've got the message and I'm going to show you a picture of the reading in a minute. So first of all, we've just had that new moon in Virgo, which is where the sun and the moon are together in a conjunction, and it's the beginning of a new cycle. And we have a lot of Virgo themes going on this week. One thing that really stands out is Venus in an opposition with Saturn in Aquarius. And that sort of plays into what the reading was about, which I'll get into. But basically, in a nutshell, um, when something is attractive and it's put out there in the world, Saturn in Aquarius, it's like you're putting something out there in the world that is attractive. It also attracts kind of a parasitic kind of energy because we're dealing with the collective with Aquarius. So there's a lot of people in the collective that are living in their kind of shadow, and they become jealous, they become um, desirous of what you have achieved. It's basically like the Empress and the parasites around the Empress trying to like suck off the Empress's um, energy. You know what I mean? So that really stands out, which is so Venus, Saturn opposition. And we have the moon in Libra, which is moving into Scorpio. I just want to add a summary to this. So here is the summary of energy going on. So I'm in Australia, so it's not going to be that different. It's just like wherever you are, it's all about like the houses, and for your personal planet, it's about what's going on in what house. So Wednesday, the moon is void of course in Libra. Void of course is a time when the moon is not making any aspects. There's not a lot of energy that the moon is it's like some sort of like going into the darkness kind of void energy, and it's actually a good time to do things that are of hermit nature. So things that require you to have solitude, isolation, things like that. Readings are a good time in void of course, in my experience, and I've been doing readings for a long time. Void of course is not something that I read in any book of, what it's for, because there's different opinions about it. But in my personal experience, I get really strong intuitive messages in when I'm doing a reading in that energy. Juno trine Hygeia. And then on Thursday, moon goes in Scorpio. And Pallas trine Vesta, Venus trine Eris, Mars sextile Jupiter. And then on Saturday, void of course again in Scorpio, and then Venus opposed Vesta, Moon going into Sagittarius, Mercury opposed Jupiter. So first of all, something that I'm getting here is that, you know, based on the reading that I've just done, and I'll just show you the photo of it. I need a new page. So I have a new deck that I've bought, and it is, it's called the Golden Tarot. And I already had the major arcana of a version of this tarot deck, which is the smaller ones that are gold and with a black outline. That's the major arcana deck that I already had. And then I saw that you could buy the full deck without like the golden appearance to it. And so I bought that, and I also bought a deck called the Floriography deck. And so that's I'm using this as divination with flowers, which I think is very underused, but I love flowers, and I am in the flower industry. My business is related to the flower industry. So I love this flower deck, and I have 2 cards here from that deck clarifying 2 characters in this reading for this week. So one of them is the Empress, and she's right here. And the other one is right next to her, the Knight of Swords. And I have an Empress underneath her because she was at the bottom of the deck. And so I was talking about the Empress as I was looking at that. So it was just like this strong Empress energy. So I put her there underneath as well. So we have 2 characters, the Empress energy. So this could mean an aspect of yourself, which I think it is for most people. It's an aspect of the feminine ability to create things that are beautiful, create abundance, give birth. You know, it's an energy that's very envied, and it's envied by masculine energy. This could be females who have like a more masculine energy, but it also could be, it doesn't matter what the gender is, it's just masculine energy that is coming towards this Empress energy within you, or someone in your family that's a matriarch, someone who is in a position of wealth. So a lot of different things, but it's feminine, and it's attractive in some way to this Knight of Swords. So as I was doing the reading, the story that came out was that this Knight of Swords is someone who is basically had, how do I say it, has seen what the Empress is doing, or what the Empress has possession of, something like that, and they are coming to offer the Empress something that is false, and they have kind of like found the Empress basically randomly by just looking at different things, searching for something in the vein of what they're looking for. It's sort of a predator energy. Actually, it is a predatory energy, but it's not a violent energy. It's more manipulative. So you could be dealing with something like a scam, or some kind of scam pops up, or, you know, someone who you are in contact with is offering you something. What this reading is, and what I think the astrology is saying, is that there's a lot of deception being used here. The flower underneath the Knight of Swords is the hellebore, and I'll just read that description. So this is a card about scandal, also known as the Christmas rose. This now popular winter flower has a dark past. Its leaves, stems, and roots are toxic and have been used to produce poison for thousands of years. So somewhere in the collective, I think we will see, this is a bit of a prediction, some sort of toxic, sort of poisoning kind of energy towards feminine empress kind of energy, in the form of an attack or in the form of scamming. Aside from the grim tales from this hellebore plant, it was used medically to treat madness. So this person, this Knight of Swords, and I pulled this flower card to clarify him, and I also pulled another card, the one that's above him, the Wheel of Fortune, to clarify as well. So this tells me, and it's the first time I've got the message that the Wheel of Fortune in this context is random. So this is a random kind of communication, because this person's either crazy or they're mentally ill, or there's some sort of negative intention towards the Empress. And so it says, perhaps unsurprisingly, given its checkered past, a hellebore is used to mean scandal and lies. It does, however, have a lighter side, its capacity to not just survive, but actually thrive in the dark depths. This person who is attracted to this Empress energy is lurking in the darkness. It's a parasite kind of energy, and is coming in the form of giving hope to the Empress or giving an offer, something like that. So this can play out in so many different ways. Like for me, I read now mostly with business in mind and what I'm doing in that sort of realm. But in a relationship context, this could be that you are a single mother and you have someone around you who is wanting to kind of take advantage of what they see that you have to offer, which may be some sort of nurturing or some kind of like home environment. And this also could be like an older woman who has wealth, and there's someone around them who is wanting a piece of that. So it could play out in a lot of different ways. In business, this could be someone who wants to sign a contract or do a deal or engage with you, pretty much presenting it as the Six of Pentacles. But the Empress has the Victory card next to her, the Ace of Swords. So in whatever happens here, the Empress is going to be the victorious one. And the Knight of Swords is so much lower than the Empress on an archetypal level that he or she, or it, if it's a corporation or whatever, has no chance in swindling this Empress energy. It's just going to be apparent. And the reason why it's going to be apparent is because there's a cycle. So over here we have the Knight, the Ten of Swords next to the Seven of Swords. These two swords energies are basically telling me that something's going to reveal a pattern to you that you may be becoming aware of, because I do have also the Death card here at the end. That means there's a total sort of finality to this sort of behavior. If someone's approaching you with this like offer of whatever, and previously you might have been interested or listened or given at the time of day, if it's a relationship, maybe you would have believed their lies and accepted their adoration, because that's the other thing that's coming up with this Venus opposition with Saturn, is that people absolutely love being adored. And Venus is an energy that is it, and depending on where it is in your chart, but Venus is an energy that loves, or it's an aspect of the self, because I don't like to make characters out of the planets. They're not characters in a book. They're planets and they're energy. And they're every single energy in the universe is within us. And when we are born in at a particular time, whatever is going on with the energies of the universe, we are the physical manifestation of that signature. So they're not characters, they're not he, she, whatever. They're energy. And I have Venus in Aquarius. So that energy of Venus in Aquarius means I'm attracted to a variety of different things. I'm attracted to a variety of different kinds of people. I'm attracted to unusual things, unique things, innovative things. I'm really attracted to like cutting edge type of things. So with Venus opposing the energy of Saturn, Saturn is about things that are old. I have Saturn in Virgo. Saturn in Virgo in the 6th house. A lot of my jobs that I've had, I've been around people who are older. This could be a matriarch energy. So if you have a matriarch kind of energy who is alone, I would check up on them and see, how they're doing, and if there's anyone that's sort of like hanging around. But ultimately, there's nothing to worry about. Empress is victorious, and she is not the fool that this Knight of Swords thinks she is. So he's going to be coming in with all of these like messages of opportunity, offers of help, assistance, but behind it is this it's just not true. It's 7 of Swords. He's basically a liar. He's he, she, whatever it is, a corporation. They want something from the Empress. Empress is holding a huge coin. So I think this entity, whatever it is, has an eye on that and thinks that this feminine sort of energy is a fool to whatever their story is, or whatever they have to say. So it could be a random sort of, this 7 of Swords person randomly finds this Empress energy, and there's something about it because she has the wattle, but it's also called Mimosa. And in this deck, it's called Mimosa, Acacia Violbata. And it says, Mimosa is an evergreen acacia tree which flowers in cooler months, perfect for a sunny pick-me-up when the weather is chilly. This flower is of particular importance to women in Italy. Since 1946, mimosa blossom has been used to celebrate La Festa della Donna, Women's Day, on the 8th of March. Originally given by men to their daughters, wives, and mothers as a sign of gratitude, women now give the fragrant flower to one another as a sign of sisterhood. It's interesting, like the synchronicities here. I'm using an Italian deck, and it's talking about this festival for women, and this flower being given by men to women. So what it's telling me is she knows the energy of true appreciation from a man. And what he is trying to give this Empress in this story is not true appreciation. It's something like poison. But sort of like on the facade may look like the energy of wattle. Like what I'm trying to say is sometimes people use a facade to appear good-natured, give you gifts or offer you things, tell you how wonderful you are, appreciate you, tell you you're beautiful, or this. Sometimes it's total manipulative strategy, and underneath what this person or this corporation or whatever it is really going to input into your life is toxicity. That in a relationship, that can be completely unconscious, or subconscious, I mean, from the Knight of Swords. They don't realize how much toxicity they've got in their load, like carrying into someone's life. So this week, there's an end to that sort of kind of like fake appreciation, sort of manipulative energy. There's some aspect of ourselves that it attracts this parasitic kind of energy and brings to light that we have to be strong in a situation because we've got the Strength card here. And for victory to happen, the strength, we have to be strong against whatever sort of sad, sappy kind of story someone has, or whatever offer they are giving, or adoration, or whatever the manipulation is. So it's having strength against manipulation is a strong message in this so far. This could also be that, because I'm just going to put this out there, it could be that Australia itself, because it's such a rich country of resources, we have this, symbolically, we have things in abundance. We have the wattle plant itself, the yellow wattle, in abundance. And symbolically, I feel like it's saying Australia, as the Empress, has an abundant resources. And this could be something comes up in the Australian news this week. Because I'm in Sydney, I am like in the energy. So it could be something that comes up to do with an offer by a government that is claiming things that it's going to just turn out to be a very toxic sort of interaction if Australia takes up that offer. So I don't know what that is. I'm not really that much into politics, but I do kind of pay attention. So there could be an ending to a relationship. Whoever this Empress is, an aspect of yourself, someone in your family, a country, they're not going to be the fool. And this Knight of Swords is, it doesn't have a chance, basically. The Empress will see its toxicity and will see through the false sort of promises and things like that. So we have the World card underneath the Death card. The World is a card of not just a new chapter, but a completely kind of new timeline, or a new, something's final here. It's not just an ending, it's final. And what's going to come out of this finality and this ending to this sort of pattern is amazing new things growing. She's protecting the world that she is creating. So an aspect of you is protecting the world that you're creating by putting an end to some sort of patterning that's attracting. Well, I feel like you can't really put an end to what you're attracting. Some things will just be attracted to you, and it's not your fault. Like I said, Venus energy attracts all kinds of different people and energies and entities. But what it is saying is that you have the ability to protect a world that you are creating, or protecting your world by being strong. The Strength card with the Ace of, if you want victory in this situation this week, if this comes up for you and someone is pretty much thinking that you're a fool and going to fall for some sort of manipulation or scam or whatever it is. Maybe it's someone who wants to do business with you or whatever, and they're just going to bring in a lot of toxicity. Even if they're presenting something that looks really good, ultimately you have strength, you have victory, and you have whatever they want in abundance, in absolute abundance. So that's why it's showing like Knight of Swords energy against the Empress. Like there's no comparison there. And of course, you might attract something like this if you have something in abundance. So especially with the moon going into Scorpio, this could play out on Thursday. You might get a whiff of it on Thursday. Moon in Scorpio natally, I can tell you, is really, I'm good at, seeing what may be toxic underneath the surface. And so because this is a collective thing going on, the moon going into Scorpio, people will naturally have that ability to, if you're in tune with yourself and you're in tune with energy, people will just naturally have an ability to see what's deeper and what's kind of toxic in a situation. This could also be someone that you are in a relationship with, have some kind of connection with, and that's why it's going to be difficult, because why else would we need strength? There must be some sort of emotional kind of connection, or there must be a strong urge on the Empress side to protect or nurture whatever it is. Maybe that, it could be like someone that's presenting a cause that's close to you, close to your heart, something like that, and they know this. There's so many different possibilities. So maybe on Thursday we will get a glimpse of what's really not good for our world. And we have to use some strength to be victorious. The Ace of Swords is about, it's a sword, and swords sever things. So Juno trine Hygeia tomorrow, Wednesday. Juno is an archetype of commitment. It goes back to the creation of currency. But I've always seen Juno as an energy of commitment. So where do you have Juno trining Hygeia going on in your chart? Hygeia is about health. Are you making a commitment to clear something out that's toxic in your world somehow? Maybe there's something to do with you giving something monetarily to something that is not really serving you. And whatever it is that you're giving to may be presenting as a good thing, but it's just really a toxic influence on you. This could be like a subscription to something. It could be as trivial as that, depending on where it is in your chart and what's going on. I'm just going to have a look at my chart and see if I can share any kind of insight. So I've just paused it for a minute and I've had a look at my own chart to see where Juno is transiting, and it's in Pisces, and it's conjunct my Vesta and Mars and South Node, but almost exactly on my Vesta. So this is about, because Juno can be the Empress in my reading, because it is a matriarchal type of energy. It's feminine energy. It is a symbol of, like I said, commitment to someone or something, partnership. So Juno's right here, and is in a trine with Hygeia, which is over in Scorpio. And some people might even be partnering up with the gym or something like that on a very mundane kind of level. Could be that. But in the context of the reading that I did, the South Node, there's something about the South Node and Hygeia, and these patterns of the past coming to light in this season of Virgo this week. And it may be some sort of partnership that we have with something we're paying for, that it's toxic underneath it all. It's toxic. So see if that kind of fits in with your situation or you resonate with that. But a trine aspect is actually good, and it's a harmonious sort of like ease. That's why I feel like the Empress energy, she just will have victory no matter what happens here. And by the way, this chart I have up today is just for the 30th. But it just shows that we're dealing with a 30th of August. We're dealing with a opposition energy of Venus over Saturn. We're dealing with Hygeia in a trine with Juno. We're dealing with Mercury later in the week. So we're also dealing with Mercury in an opposition with Jupiter. So one thing this could be is that you might be in a relationship with someone and there's conversations about, something that they are interested in, what they want to do, or there's communication about communication. Not saying that you're in a relationship with a parasite. That was just an example, but whoever this person is communicating to you this week about what they ultimately want to do. Maybe they see something that you're doing and they want to expand on it in some way. Whatever the communication is, they will present it as something that's going to help you. And I think with Mercury in the opposition to Jupiter, Mercury is in Libra. So this is communication, conversations between people who have marriages or relationships or partnerships in some way, or someone who is a potentially wanting that. In opposition with Jupiter retrograde in Aries, the Aries energy is about one person, the self. Maybe you're talking about the direction something should be going in. Maybe you have a business partner and what their ideas are may lead it into something that's toxic. So I'm just saying, maybe be careful about the suggestion of a partner or someone who is invested in some way in the business. I think ultimately the goal is to maintain the health of something that you're creating. And the suggestions and the ideas of others in partnership with you, or the ideas basically, are they going to be ultimately beneficial to your health and to the health of what you are creating? Because for whatever reason, there's some toxic underlying, and when the moon is in Scorpio, we will be able to kind of dig up those things that are toxic. I think that there's a huge theme this week that is, don't do something that's going to put your health in jeopardy, because you're creating you are creating a very, very, very abundant energy, or putting off an abundant kind of energy at the moment. It's strong. You have the Empress here times 2. There's poison, an offer coming towards you, toxic underlayers of it, which you will see this week. And then ultimately it's the end of that sort of toxicity for you. And you will, with strength, you will overcome this predicament, whatever it is. So what are you giving your money to? Energy, time, because you have some sort of emotional attachment to it, or you're emotionally invested in it in some way. Is it time to kind of not be the fool here and succumb to this sort of manipulation of whoever this is, whatever it is? Because ultimately they're just wanting either your money or your beauty, or it's something to do with that Venus kind of energy. So I'm just going to leave it there and let that sit with people. Thank you very much for being here, and I'm sorry this was a day late, actually 2 days late, because I usually do it on Sunday my time, and it's Tuesday. So I'll leave it there. Send you lots of love, and thanks for being here. Bye for now.